I've been working on my biggest Paralives project yet. I transformed this massive empty terrain into my dream autumnal islands, the perfect setting for an enchanted elven city. I did all the terraforming off camera because it ended up taking me way longer than I expected. I also built these giant elven gates off camera as well. I constructed them from many arches layered together to create that intricate elven architecture look. The landscaping just on this mountain in the front of the map took so much longer than I expected. So instead of finishing the entire landscape, I decided to jump straight into building the first island. My plan is to keep working on the rest of the mountains and the surrounding terrain as the city gradually comes together. To give you an idea of just how massive this terrain is, here's my para compared to the terrain. Here's my plan for the general layout of the city. Multiple bridges will connect the different islands, so paras are able to easily get from island to island. The buildings aren't exactly how they'll look in the final build, and may change as I go. I just wanted to block them out so you get a sense of where everything will go. Think of this as a rough draft to help you visualize my overall vision for this city. I'm starting with the first island. I wanted to make this a boat dock at the front entrance gate. I imagine this dock being the main arrival point for any visitors entering this magical elven kingdom. I wanted this first island to serve as a small visitor/shopping center, since it's the first island guests will see and step onto when they arrive. I wanted to make it both welcoming and useful, a place where visitors can get their bearings, explore, shop, and begin their journey in this elven kingdom. For the building connected to the dock, I'm not entirely sure what I want the second floor to be yet. For the first floor/basement, I'd like to turn this into a storage room where transported goods and other supplies can be stored before moving on into the city. Since the second floor also serves as the main walkway into the city, I was thinking of keeping the space relatively simple and adding a few seating areas. This would give paras a place to sit and wait for their boats or loved ones who are arriving. Let me know what you think of this idea. I haven't fully decorated this space yet. Since this is such a massive project, I've decided to focus on getting the majority of the buildings placed first before diving into the decorating. I do decorate a little bit on this first island towards the end of the video though. I downloaded some fun mods I couldn't resist using. You'll also notice that I'm keeping the color palette fairly neutral for now. This is intentional because I don't want to accidentally create a clash of colors throughout the city. Once I have all of the buildings placed, I can go back through and adjust the colors wherever needed. Anything I can do to make a project this big a little easier on myself in the long run, I will do. The buildings I'm creating are incredibly intricate and detailed, which means they take quite a bit of time to build. If you look at elven architecture in any media, you'll notice just how much attention to detail goes into every part of these structures, even in the smallest corners. Another thing I really love about elven architecture is how open the buildings are to the world around them. Rather than feeling separated from nature, the structures blend seamlessly into their surroundings. I think this really helps make the entire kingdom feel much more enchantingly magical. If you have watched any other talented Paralives builders create their own worlds in Paralives, you will see them map out each lot and assign them to their own specific lot type, whether that be residential or a park. That was my initial plan for this build, but I think I got a little bit too ambitious with these separate islands and I could not get it to work for me. There's too many connecting pieces between each build, and when I tried to connect the buildings in separate lots, it wasn't working for me. So I settled for making the lots connected to create a bigger lot to work with. Let me know if you have messed around with making your own world and you have a possible solution. I would love to make a world in the future with actual assigned lots so it can actually be functional to play with. I wasn't gonna let that stop me from creating this world and bringing it to life though. It was really hard to make the foundation the right shape because I was working without a grid. The reason I didn't use the curved walls for this is because I've had issues placing fences on top of those, and I knew I was going to want fencing around the entire platform. I think it turned out pretty good for my first attempt though. I've made so many backup files throughout this building process of this world. My fingers are crossed that everything goes smoothly with this building process. Because I'm doing this in early access, there is potential for all of this to go wrong on me. So far, I'm all good though, but I'm fully expecting there to be some struggles along the way. If I manage to pull it all off in the end, it will be so much more rewarding though. I'm excited to bring you guys all along with me. Also, I wanted to say thank you so much for 500 subscribers. That's so crazy to me and means so much that you are here interacting and watching my videos. I actually got accepted into the first tier of the YouTube Partner Program a couple days ago. That was my first big milestone I've reached on this channel and I won't forget it. Thank you so much to all of you. If you don't already know, there are specific requirements you have to meet in order to be eligible to apply for the YouTube Partner Program. There are 2 tiers, and for the first one, you need 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours. I've actually had well over 3,000 watch hours for a while now, and I just thought that was so crazy and so cool that people are actually watching me. I definitely had a little bit of a crazy start to my YouTube journey. Thank you so much again. I just marked out the bridge to the other island and am now building the platform for the stairs up to the bridge. I'll show you how I made those walls actually look like a real bridge a little later in the video. I didn't want these stairs to be in a boring straight line. They would also be insanely big and just not look quite right. I first tried to make them into more of a spiral shape with the separator tool, but I couldn't get that to work on this big platform for some reason. So I was able to make this platform shape and I think it turned out nice. I also wanted to take a moment and apologize for how long it took me to get this video out. This project is really big, and the first part of filming / building took me well over 30 hours. And as of right now, while I'm recording this voiceover, I'm on day 2 of editing. If you like this video so far, leaving a like and subscribing would really help. I put so much time and effort into these videos, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to continue this series, and if you guys really want to watch me bring this world to life. To avoid this big foundation platform from being too flat and boring, I wanted to add plenty of structures to help break up that open space. I started with this gazebo. I thought it fit perfectly in this space right here. I know it's far from a perfect circle, but I think it gives it more of an interesting shape to look at. The arches on the side were definitely a challenge. I was gonna use the bigger archways all the way around the entire gazebo, but the walls were too small on some sides. I'm glad that in the end I didn't actually use all of the same arches all the way around because I was actually able to fit more details into the walls with the smaller ones. I would love some name suggestions for this Elven City. I haven't come up with one yet, so your help would be so helpful. From this point forward in this build, I don't really have much to say, so I will let you guys watch my process and I will pop in from time to time to tell you something if I need to. Enjoy! I've said this in previous videos, but when I build in games, I tend to jump all over the place and can't seem to stick to one part of the build at a time. So you will see me start working on one thing and then I will see another thing and I just have to jump over there and build it. I wanted to add so much more detail to this first building here. Adding all of these arches all the way around the base of this building adds so much more depth and makes it feel so much more interesting to look at. The key to make these walls look like a bridge are these arches. This is exactly how I made those big elven gates that I built off camera. I wish there was an easy way for me to count how many arches I've used so far in this build. These arches are for sure going to be the most used item in this entire city. If they are layered correctly, it really does give that elven look. I wanted to add something over on this far side of the first island. I thought a little watchtower would be really cool on the island closest to the water. Having a high place to be able to see out onto the ocean or up onto the higher elevated islands made sense to me. I really love how this tower turns out in the end. This is where I start adding all of the autumn greenery throughout this entire little island. I built these custom planter boxes into the roof of the main building, giving me the perfect spot to add a pop of color and turn the rooftop into a lush little autumn garden. When adding the trees, bushes, and other greenery, I made sure to use a mix of warm oranges, deep reds, and golden yellows to really capture that fall feeling. Maybe in this magical world, it's autumn all year round. I think the warm autumn colors fit the elven aesthetic perfectly. Here's where I couldn't help but decorate just a little bit. I wanted to get the shopping center at least started, and I downloaded all of these fun mods to decorate with. I had to use them. I decorated these little stalls to make them into their own little shops with their own themes. Let me know which one is your favorite. And that's it for my first episode of creating my enchanted elven world. There is still so much to be done in this world, and I cannot wait to build more with you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this and want to see more. And if you did enjoy this magical first build of my custom Paralives world, I'd be so grateful if you left a like and subscribe to my channel. The series takes me quite a bit of time, and any support is much appreciated. And if you subscribe, you won't miss the second part to this. Thank you so much for watching me start the process of creating my dream elven world. Until the next chapter of this process, take care and I will see you in the next one. Bye!